Lots of women recently have been taking to social media to talk about how much they have to shoulder in the home. And you can tell the frustration is building to a point of no return. I foresee lots of women getting divorced and not being remarried because they are just tired of shouldering all of this while men get to be the king babies. They get to be the demigods in their home that do nothing. Women are tired of this, it seems. So this was posted in the marriage advice subreddit. She says, husband did nothing at all while we were gone. She says, a point of contention in our marriage is the division of labor. We keep seeing this in social media posts. She says, I do about 90% of the household duties and also work and care for the kids from home. My husband says he can't help as much as he wants because he works long hours and has a long commute. Even if he has time off, he's occupied with the kids, so he can't help out with the household tasks aside from the 10%. I had enough, unrelated, and ended up taking the kids to my parents and stayed there for several days. It was nice. I had other adults who helped me out with the kids, and I was able to get a lot done. He had the entire week off work. The first day I came to see my husband, he said he had a great night and didn't miss us at all. He got to relax and hang out. The second night, he was in tears, saying he misses me and the kids, and he's feeling lonely. He felt like he was unimportant, etc. Quite literally texting me and calling me nonstop. That's going to be something that happens. These men think that they're so happy being single. The lady says, I bet. And then they're like, oh my God, what's going on after a few months or a few weeks of being alone? The third night we hung out for dinner and I sent him some flirty messages that evening. Nothing big. My kids had enough of their grandparents and wanted to come back home, so I drove up. On the way, my husband called in a panic, apologizing for the house being a mess. I walk in and didn't really notice much at first. As the night is wearing on, I noticed there's no groceries, no food, no paper towels. Nothing is restocked. The random food I did find was all brown and old. The raw fish was just sitting in the fridge all week, and cups of milk from before we left were still sitting there. The toilets were disgusting, dust and dirt everywhere. I have no idea how it's possible for the house to have been in that state after 4-ish days. I severely underestimate how much I do daily just for basic upkeep. He quite literally didn't do any cleaning whatsoever. He didn't make his side of the bed, didn't throw away any opened toiletries, didn't close cabinets or put away medicine, nothing. I looked in the kids' room and they were pretty spotless because, of course, he didn't go in there. I put my kids to bed and just wept. I don't know where I went wrong that my husband doesn't care at all about anyone but himself. While we were gone, he spent his time going to the gym, eating out, getting his car detailed, and watching shows on the couch. I don't even want to talk to him about it because it's pointless. He says he feels emasculated when I bring up things he's doing wrong or failing at. I don't know what to do at this point. If she doesn't want to bring it up and he doesn't have the propensity to think about other people other than himself, she's just going to have to leave. If they can't talk this through and he gets some sense about how a household should work and how he should participate in this household, she needs to leave him. So this person, Tear XMD, says, has your husband ever lived alone in his life after graduation? Or is this the case of you two meeting during university, getting married and having kids, etc.? It seems that he never had to take care of himself and always has someone taking care of him. And the OP says, actually, he lived alone quite a bit. And he did most of the household tasks when we first moved in together due to my schedule. I hired a cleaner at the time because my schedule didn't allow me to clean much, although I did all the cooking. After we got married, he got a better job, so we moved into a bigger home and had a couple of kids. I ended up picking up the slack because I was home more and cut my hours at work, still more than full time, so I could be with the kids. It's, it's odd to say, but my husband has historically been the neat, clean, organized one between us, and he taught me a lot of what I do around the house now. I've been more career oriented, so I would just pay people to clean for me. The problem I'm having is finding someone who can regularly clean our home without charging an arm and a leg. Finding someone to clean an 800 square foot apartment to standard is a lot easier than 2,000 square feet. We tend to be charged $300 a week, which adds up with two kids. I also feel guilty spending the money since I don't work as much. I'm not sure how much I'd have to pay just to have someone follow my husband around to throw away his trash, close cabinets behind him. He just doesn't care anymore. That's the problem. And this is the thing, people always want to blame the woman. How could you choose somebody like this? Did you vet? Did you do this? Did you do that? What made you decide to marry this person? But this person, this man, was fine. He cleaned. He did the adult stuff. He knew how to run a household. He taught her things. She's the one that used to pay for help. And then he got married. He decided that he had a wife appliance, servant, bang maid, and all of that just went out the window. Like it literally, the people act like these switches don't happen. They act like these men don't flip. This man just simply said, I can put my feet up. I'm done with this. And he decided to become a slob. The only thing that this woman could do is literally walk away. Okay, so Trey Zine says, this may be way off, but does your husband have ADHD? I'm not discounting his poor behavior at all, just trying to help you find a solution. He definitely has to change some things because it's not fair to you, but it's definitely worth investigating. And to that, she says, people ask this quite often, but no, I'm the one with ADHD. What Trazine is doing is what a lot of people do. They run in and want to give the man some kind of excuse for being a slob. That's what they do. They can't simply see that these men believe that the wives are supposed to be their servants. So they have to give them some excuse. I just wanted to end with this one from Relative Seaweed. She says, ma'am, do you have access to the joint account? Hire a housekeeper and outsource everything. Maybe when he has to pay for it, he'll step up. If not, he can roll out. And that's the thing. In the other comment, she was talking about she needed to pay for this, but she doesn't because he's the one making a mess. She needs to use his money to pay for it, even though she has to do the mental load of finding the housekeeper and all of this. She needs to just spend his money because he's the one doing this, but he feels like he is the demigod. He has a servant, and that's the reason why he gets to just kick his feet up. He gets to eat something and then toss it, and toss it, throw his stuff over here, throw his stuff. Like, how can you live like this? Yeah, I don't see how this works in real life. I would be totally disgusted, frustrated, and then you have to just execute the plan to get out of here. All right, y'all. Let me know what you think about this one. Join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. I want to preface this by saying I know that some of these Reddit posts can be works of fiction. I don't care. I read this and I felt that you guys needed to hear this post as well. She says, my husband doesn't know I'm about to divorce him. That title brought me right in. It just brought me in. And I'm like, let me read more. You guys need to hear this as well. She says, this has been my plan for 6 years. This is by far the craziest thing I've done. And I can't believe I suffered all these years with this man just so I can survive financially. This woman sounds like a Scorpio just waiting for her revenge. And I loved it immediately. She says, the start of our marriage was wonderful. We had 2 babies. After the second pregnancy, he cheated on me with a very close family member. He gave me a lazy apology. And on top of that, he complained about my body. He also told me I was built like a refrigerator. Mind you, I was 4 months postpartum at the time. I secretly saw a family lawyer. To sum it up for you, I would be screwed leaving him. We only had $25,000. And that being split up is basically nothing for me. No marital properties. I didn't have a job. I was a stay-at-home mom. I applied for hundreds of jobs during the time and couldn't find employment anywhere. So leaving was a bad decision for me, financially speaking, especially with 2 small babies. Also, alimony and child support wasn't going to be enough for me to live off of or survive with 2 babies. So I let him believe that I forgave him and I continued being his wife. Dun, dun, dun. The first time he cheated on me, it was with my cousin. Then he cheated again. He had a one night stand with a random girl he met on a night out. I got so mad. I cheated back on him out of anger. Of course, he never found out I cheated. At least I'm smart about it, unlike him. During the time in our marriage, I worked on getting my independence back. My husband paid for my trade school. It was a very expensive program, but he paid for everything. We moved and we bought a house with his income. He grew his money too during all this time. He made far more money now than he did when I originally wanted to leave him. I started working recently. I have a career now. I'm so happy about that. I haven't filed for divorce yet. He has no idea of my plans. I'm excited. I finally get to leave him after 6, almost 7 years. Now I can walk away with at least $200,000, and we have marital assets now, like the house and the car he also paid off for me. Now I have my education and my own career. I have been working on my weight loss. I lost 66 pounds. He paid for my triazepatide. I have no idea what that is, and if I pronounced it correctly. I had a breast reduction and a breast lift. I look amazing. I don't doubt I'll probably get remarried eventually. Everything in my life is finally set. I'm going the right way. I'm sorry, and going the right way. She went out. She had a box, a to-do list to check off, like check this off, check that off. She went down the list methodically. And then she made an edit. She says, laughing at the people mad at me for cheating back on him. What did you expect to happen? I stay loyal to my husband while he F's other girls. LOL. You guys think I'm just going to go without X for almost a decade? Hilarious. She's just checking stuff off the list. Cheat back, done. All right. So people are mad, probably men are mad because a woman has the nerve to get her licks back. And some women will get their licks back. There is a different crop of women out there. And like this woman is sitting up there with the to-do list of things to handle before she bounces. I know some men are sitting up here, maybe they could reevaluate how they treat the women in their lives. Maybe they could change their behaviors. Maybe they're seeing what could happen if they keep screwing women over and they're taking exception to it. And it's funny to me. Let's do a few of these comments. Instructions unclear says, I hope you have a beautiful and gentle life with your children after all of this is over. Wishing you extra sunshine in the early mornings and good health for your family without him. I hope your husband gets what he deserves. He sounds truly horrible. DJKL says, it's inspiring to see you take control of your life. You deserve a bright future and happiness with your kids. Stay strong. So women are supporting her. Then Poro Minos is one of those people that took exception. He says he cheats on her, and then she goes on this manipulative grand scheme of staying with him while making him pay for her stuff, cheating on him, and then planning to divorce him and take half of his money. And he's the one that sounds truly horrible. So he's taking exception to this. And I'm tickled. I'm entertained at this comment because these men truly don't believe that men should have any kind of consequences for their bad behaviors. And this is like highlighting that, yeah, it might happen. Something bad could happen. But had he not been a cheater, had he just been a loving and supportive husband, this wouldn't have happened. Ice Queen Tiger Mama says, yes, he is. She wouldn't have done any of that if he didn't F around first. It's his own fault for being a piece of Exactly, Ice Queen. Rue Kitten says, at the beginning, I was ready to start thinking, man, that's really something to stay with someone for so long just to milk more money and assets out of them. But then you mentioned how he cheated on you the first time with your cousin, showed no remorse whatsoever, body shamed you when you were going through the first few months of postpartum, cheated on you again. Honey, you milked that man like a farmer would milk a cow. Milk him for all he's worth. You withstood the storm, and now you are the storm. I told you, this post is entertaining. Squanchy says, damn, you withstood the storm. Now you are the storm. Powerful words, internet stranger. Thank you. I think we should reiterate that. You withstood the storm. Now you are the storm. Y'all, go be a effing storm. Go be a storm somewhere. Go be a storm in someone's life. And with that, I'm going to end it. But hold on. I do need to say, don't be a storm just to random people. Only be the storm when necessary. Don't just be out here storming on everything. All right, y'all. Join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Okay, I'm cracking up at this post. And I don't know if this is real or not, but it had me crying, laughing. Like I literally feel like I got tears in my eyes from laughter. She says, am I the a-hole for not believing my boyfriend that suddenly became gay due to the altitude difference when he was on a work trip in Utah? Is that something that we're going to have to worry about now? The changing of altitudes? And men going on these trips alone and then suddenly falling into a bunghole? Is that something we're going to have to worry about now? Where's the news on this? Is there any science? Are there any scientificals written on this? Okay, let's get into the post. She says, I can hardly believe that I'm writing this or that it happened, but I am. And it did. So here we are. Here we go. She says, I'm a 28-year-old woman and been with my boyfriend who's 29 for 3 years. Every now and then he has to go to Utah for a few days because his team has a customer service branch that operates out there. So was he turning suddenly gay during these other times? Because he has to go every now and then. She says, I got a text from one of his coworkers who has become a friend of ours. And it said that on the trip, my boyfriend cheated on me with some guy on the customer care team. I did not believe it at first because, first of all, my boyfriend has always identified as straight. And second of all, I just couldn't believe it. When he got home, I asked him about it, basically expecting him to confirm it was nonsense. Instead, he got real quiet and had us sit down. And he said he had something to tell me. He said it was true. He did have a one-night stand with a guy. I couldn't believe it. I asked him if he was telling me he was gay or bisexual. And regardless, cheating is cheating. He insisted he is not gay at all, but the strangest thing happened. He said that when he was at dinner with his Utah coworkers, that he suddenly became gay. I was like, what? What the F? He says he thinks it was due to the altitude. I was like, you're effing with me, right? But he said after he had done it with this guy, he got really confused as to how all of a sudden he was gay. He said that the higher altitudes can have an impact on how people think and on their emotions. And he thinks that the high altitude made him gay temporarily. He says that as soon as he landed back home, he was back to being straight. I mean, that sounds plausible, right? That sounds plausible. Okay, maybe that does not sound that plausible, but let me know in the comments. Do you think this is plausible? She says, I was like, did he get drugged or something? But he said that was not possible. They were always in a group at dinner, which is when he became gay. And he was only alone with the guy afterwards. He said he had done a lot of thinking on the drive back from the airport, and he confirmed within himself that he is straight. And and that his only conclusion could be that he was temporarily turned gay due to the altitude. That is such a good theory. This is what he came up with on the drive back from the airport. I was like, whatever. I guess we are breaking up. He looked at me confused. I was like, gay or not, you did cheat on me. He said it wasn't his fault and that human actions are just a byproduct of accidental brain chemistry and that his chemistry had been altered through no fault of his own due to the higher altitudes of Utah. He said he couldn't believe I would blame him for something medical and scientific that was out of his control. He really looked bewildered that I was angry about this. I don't know, maybe he's convincing me and I'm a rube, but I'm starting to wonder if I am overreacting. Like, I know it sounds insane, but is it possible to accidentally change your sexual orientation due to emotional changes brought on by altitude? Is that possible? And if it is, am I overreacting? Should I throw away a 3-year relationship for this? He's acting like I'm being rude and weird. I'm confused. You should be confused. You should be. Because if this had any truth to it, anybody visiting Utah would be out there cheating and turning gay. And there would eventually be some scientific papers, some research about being gay due to altitude. I didn't do any of the comments on this one. I didn't find it necessary. I just wanted y'all to see the post and laugh with me. There's no story to learn with this one. Y'all just needed to see this and laugh with me. Join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.
If I have to see this, so do you.
Can I go back, please? I got too nervous. Gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Whoa, say does that star spangled for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Not him saying, this is live. She didn't know it was live. This was at the presidential debate for third parties, and girl.